So, oh boy, down the rabbit hole we go. So players are actively discussing the next operation because it appears it should be dropping by the end of the year, at least according to this right here. Yes, the actual official roadmap. And if we zoom in here, Season 2, it says new PVE Missions, plural. So players are anticipating and expecting another new operation dropping by the end of 2024. But this comes with a very big asterisk. Stick with me. I'll explain in just a moment because there's some contradictions going on here that we definitely need to talk about. This is all about managing expectations, and I wanted to let you guys know when we will officially be hearing from Saber Interactive. And the dev team responds about update 4.1 and those bolter buffs, and will the Tech Marine become a playable class in Space Marine 2 eventually? Well, we got a discussion that stirred up some interesting findings about that one, and we have to talk about the Tacticals melee perks versus the Assault class. And yes, we're going to go over your top comments. And remember, if you are new, welcome aboard. Smack that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. But yes, you're taking a look at my bro Ryan's gameplay here. Let's see how he does as the heavy. But we're going to start out with some new dev comments about those recent bolter buff updates. Check it out right here. It says, thanks all. Your feedback is really valuable and helps us going in the right direction. And they were asking here how you guys are feeling about those bolter buffs. So it looks like we're taking a step back, seeing how things are working with that recent update 4.1 in regards to those buffs to the bolters, and we'll see if they do further adjustments. But overall, from what I am seeing, it looks like the overall feeling from you guys is that you feel pretty underwhelmed by those bolter buffs. So I imagine that they might fine-tune that a bit further. But we definitely have to talk about this one right here. It says Missions Win Brother. So if you look at Season 2, you zoomed in here, and we're going to actually do the same thing. We're going to zoom in right here. Look, it says PVE Missions, plural, for Season 2. But also stick with me here because there's some strange things going on around this. I'll explain in just a moment. But Season 2, if you didn't know, takes place between October to the end of the year. So that's kind of the time frame we're working with if, in fact, we are going to be getting another new operation by the end of 2024. But you know, I had to do some digging. We're going to start out with one of the more recent blog posts. It says free and premium content is coming soon. So it says the first major update featuring termination and the new lethal difficulty mode is coming for free and for all players very, very soon. Now this year and throughout 2025, new content will keep coming to Space Marine 2. Now free updates include the upcoming Neo Volkite pistol and later the new PVE operation. So we kind of see what is happening here with how they're going to roll out the content. First, the Volkite pistol, and then after that, the new PVE operations. We're going to get PvP map and modes and a blood pumping horde mode with just one challenge survive. So that is kind of the layout that you can expect. But going back to a blog post from 2 months ago, things get a little bit muddied here, so check it out. It says Season 2 content will be released between October and the end of the year, of course. Now, amongst the free content, you expect a new operations map. That is singular. That is not plural. There's a new enemy, harder difficulty level, a new weapon, and various other improvements. And of course, we're getting the season pass content as well. But what about after? It says much more content will be added throughout 2025, including new operations, PvP maps, game modes like Horde mode, and more will all expand on the content of Space Marine 2 for free. And yes, even more cosmetics as well in 2025. So I think there is a little bit of confusion and miscommunication based off that image. I'm not too sure if that image is just not accurate or not. However, officially, thankfully, it has been revealed that we have monthly blog posts to look forward to. And that next blog post is going to be happening most likely in the next week or so. So hopefully we have a definitive answer as to if we're getting one new operation in Season 2 or 2 operations total in Season 2 or not. And I really have to highlight something that a lot of people miss on the Year 1 battle plan because it's in small text at the bottom of the calendar, is subject to change at any time, which means things can be shuffled around in terms of release dates for the season. Some things might move from one season to another. You never know, but I will definitely keep you guys in the know about this one. But yeah, going back to this post, I could see why people are so excited. It does say new PVE missions, but I wanted to provide some evidence as to why to keep your hype levels in check when it comes to this sort of thing. I really hope, I'm crossing my fingers, that we do get 2 operations total in Season 2. That would be amazing and beyond what I was honestly expecting. But I did definitely want to provide some sort of evidence suggesting that, yeah, we might just get one new operation, which we already have, Termination, in 2024, and the other operations would be for 2025. So yeah, there's some contradictory stuff coming out, and we'll have like more confirmations here, hopefully in the next week. I'm just saying, keep your overall expectations about the sword thing in check. But you know what? I'm going to say, if Saber wants to give us the 8th operation as a Christmas gift, I'm down for that big time. Just saying. Now, there were some more comments about this, by the way. If we head back on over to Reddit, it says, hopefully when Dark Angel's drip drops, and we have this, do we have any idea when that was going to be? I kind of just assumed October, but looking back, I can see they never gave any indication. Actually, they did. So on the official Discord, they did state the Dark Angels cosmetics to be dropping as one of the last things for Season 2. So by the end of the year, probably, maybe, just maybe in December. But yeah, we don't even know if the Dark Angels is going to be associated with the new operation, although that would be really, really cool. But back to the discussion here, because it gets interesting. It says, do we know if the new enemy was the Bio Titan? And someone did respond saying this: the new enemy will be added soon, is a Zagar Shaman, and any proof of that? During the trailer for this patch, there was a Zagar riding a disc in the background. That is 100% correct. So what does that mean exactly? It could also mean that the new operation that's coming up here is going to be centered around the Thousand Suns as well. Only time will tell if that is true or not. I know a lot of you guys love the Tyranid operations, and that's why this operation, in my opinion, was such a success. So if we do see an operation around the Thousand Suns, I do hope and cross my fingers that they do more fine-tuning with that enemy, because it seems like you guys just enjoy the Tyranid operations a lot more. I don't know if that still stands, because they did do some adjustments, of course, to the Thousand Suns, but we'll see. All right, we also got to talk about, yes, this right here. Check it out. It says, if Saber to add Tech Marine as a playable class, what role should it fill? Should it be a melee or range focus? Should it have a supporting or damage dealer role? What is his main ability? And this stirred up an entire discussion, but this reply definitely caught my attention, because you're probably wondering what the next class would be when it is added. It says, if they added a Tech Marine, it'd make the Fall of Artists operation very awkward. A line of dialogue says, since there isn't a Tech Marine among you, like, brother, I'm right here. To answer your question, though, I think it could fit a support role, something to do with restoring armor to your allies through certain perks, maybe an armor boost effect to those around you as a signature perk on execute. I've seen others say turrets or sentries like an engineer, which could be fun. I think the Tech Marine passive should be a choice of 2 primary weapons to utilize his multiple arms instead of a secondary. So yeah, it is kind of strange that they did mention that there is no Tech Marine present among you. That could mean that they have no plans to add the Tech Marine. And then we have seen some of the Focus forums and Focus Ideas page kind of indicate that they're interested and looking into things like the Apothecary and the Librarian as well. So maybe they're leaning more towards that as a support role in the game. But man, it would be really, really cool to see the Tech Marine added into Space Marine 2 for sure. But yeah, you know, a lot of people are saying, hey, a turret guy. Every horde shooter should have turrets. Letting the Tech Marine deploy a Tarantula would absolutely fit this role. Bonus point if he could gun strike with his shoulder mounted bolter without canceling his current action. This and ammo plus weapon buffs to the party. Hell yes, I'd love to see it. So maybe, just maybe, they'll consider adding this one in, but yeah, that'd be cool. And there's also been some comparisons going on around the tactical versus the assault. Check it out right here. Why does tactical, a primarily ranged class, have better melee perks than assault? And it goes on to highlight radiating impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant area of effect damage. Cooldown is 90 seconds. Here are some comments about this one. It says, you don't compare one perk to another one perk. You compare the entire perk tree. That said, tactical perk tree is incredibly good, while assaults is full of both no-brainer choices and shit-ass perks across the board. Someone responded saying this right here, exactly, and that perk isn't even tactical's best melee perk. The parry scan one is insanely strong. But you know, the biggest question is, do you think that they should look into kind of reworking some of these perks when it comes to melee, especially with the assault class? We also have additional responses right here. It says, It's an all-rounder class, technically a support class due to the skin. Melee with this class is actually decent, though a perk like that ought to be on Assault too. So yeah, the biggest question is, do you ultimately want to see radiating impact on the Assault as well? Sound off in the comments down below if you think that change should be something the dev team should look into or not. Very curious your take on that one. But also, mentioning your take, let's go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. And also, if you are new, welcome aboard. Smack that subscribe button. Leave a comment, because I love reading through all of the comments. And YouTube is kind of weird because sometimes it brings up some comments that are less known. So you never know, you can actually end up in a video. But anyway, let's do this. Let's check it out. So we have this one right here. I wish bots loaded in as our own class builds. The skins, weapons, and perks we have already selected for that class loads in with us for whatever bot gets selected. Dude, that would be such an amazing quality of life improvement to this game. And yeah, you know, that sort of thing reminds me of what you could do with like Rainbow Six, the good old Rainbow Six games. You know, you can hop on like in Rainbow Six Vegas and have like all the bots and stuff like that. But yes, I would absolutely love to see this sort of change for the bots in Space Marine 2, because I'm curious, how many of you actually play with bots pretty much the majority of the time, or do you hop on with friends and randoms? Sound off in the comments down below. I've never really asked that question. All right, we also have this one. I wish bots had a random team perk. 306 upvotes. Again, it would be really cool to go in there and choose each individual perk for your bots and fully customize them and make them look like a full squad. That would be amazing. All right, next up we have this. For me personally, getting cosmetics is a driving factor for me. That is why I like playing a lot, is to make my Space Marine drippy as hell. Hell yes. Again, you know, that's why I suggested in my previous video, it would be cool to have like a collective community event where it's like kill X amount of Tyranids or a specific type of Majora's enemy as a team over a span of like a month. And then by the end of the month, if you all meet the goal, you get rewarded with a really badass cosmetic. That sort of thing I think would be very cool to see. All right, next up we have locking cosmetics behind difficulty is 100% fine, to be honest. So a lot of you guys just, you know, are cool with it and agree with the dev team's decision on that one. Next up we have this one. I wish we could use our own custom characters for the AI bots. Then a solo player could have a squad of Templars, etc. Yeah, it just seems like this is a big discussion within the community, something you guys really, really want to see. And I'm noticing a lot of you guys seem to play with bots as well. But anyway, there it is. The latest happenings around Space Marine 2. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Have you guys covered as always. And I will see you all next time. Take care.